Hi guys, I'm here with another video, and today I'm gonna be talking about how my parents not being able to apologize led to my obesity. And please bear in mind that I am not saying that everybody who's obese or struggling with their weight. I'm saying that it's due to the fact that their parents or primary caregivers couldn't or didn't apologize to them. I'm here to share my own perspective, my own experiences, right? So let's get that out of the way. So yes, my parents, most especially my mom, well, and my dad too, but I'm here to mainly talk about my mom because she's the one that would buy me nice food or cook me nice food whenever she hurt me emotionally. She would never come to me and say, Wanaka, like I did this and that and it wasn't okay of me, so please forgive me or I'm sorry or whatever, you know. She would just rather give me nice food that she bought or that she cooked. So that conditioned me into believing that food meant comfort, right? Because we must remember that children learn through repetition, you know. So this is something that she repeated over and over again, like in my childhood, you know. The ages of 0 and 7 are very critical ages for any and every child because that's where childhood development takes place, right? And that is also where conditioning happens. The beliefs that we mostly carry, that were programmed in those ages, you know, like the ages of 0 and 7. So for me, comfort meant food because, as I already said, my mom would just buy me things, most especially food, or she would cook that food, right? And if emotional pain is consistently followed by food, the brain can start linking food with love and with safety, right? So, because it is something that my mom repeatedly did throughout my childhood, for me to feel safe and loved, I resorted to food. You know, like food became my companion, you know? And yeah, and there's a difference between emotional eating and physical hunger. But because I was still young, I didn't know the difference, you know. It's not that I'm grown, matured, and doing inner work. It's now that I know the difference between the two, right? Back then, I didn't know. Whenever I felt some type of way emotionally, I would just go to the fridge or just go to the cupboard and take out food and eat. You know, I would just, I would just eat. I just eat, guys. So, yeah, I just, 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 I just Yeah, food addiction and emotional eating can overlap. They can overlap, but they're not the same thing. They're not the same thing. And this is something that I also learned as I was growing up, you know, that those two things can overlap, but they're totally different, right? And growing up, I was also forced to finish my food. And I think this happens in many black households. Like, I was forced to finish my food because it was considered as wasting food, right? And it was associated with being ungrateful. Because I remember, like, whenever I didn't finish my food, like, I was called things like I'm ungrateful because somebody put in like a lot of effort in like cooking the food, and here I am not finishing the food. Like, who do I think I am? Like, I was forced to finish the food, you know. And I was also made to feel bad by saying that no, like many kids out there are starving, and now here I am not finishing food. Like, how is me finishing my food gonna solve the starvation problem that is taking place in the world? You know, like, it's just something that I thought in my head, but because I wasn't allowed to express myself, then I just think it in my head, and it would stay in my head, you know. But I would finish the food even though like I was already full, but I just forced myself to finish the food because I was afraid that I'm gonna get rejected, or I was afraid that I'm gonna get in trouble or get a hiding, guys, you know. So that also contributed to my obesity because I was a big girly. I was a big girly like for such a long time. Actually, throughout my childhood, I was a big girly. I remember like back in primary school, I used to wear size 38, you know. I used to wear size 38, and yeah, like I was just I was just a big girly, like and I remember like whenever um my dad would come from work and he'd find me in the street, he'd get pissed, like he'd get so angry, and he would say things like, the fridge is full of food, like what am I doing in the street? Like, you know. So I was expected to be this good little girl, like kidule katlung, and not play with other kids, you know, because the fridge is full of food. I'm supposed to stay at home. I'm not supposed to play with other kids, you know, like I'm just supposed to eat and eat and fucking eat. Like, you know, like what the hell, guys? Like, what in the actual hell? You know, so I remember whenever I visited my grandma, go Lady Point, because that's my dad's mom. So my dad is from Lady Point. So whenever I visited her, I remember she'd also force me to eat. And she'd be like, no, like, do you want your dad to think that I'm depriving you of food? Like, you know, you better finish that food. I was forced to eat like when I wasn't hungry. And if I was eating, I was forced to finish the food because now because now Mkhono is depriving me of food, you know. And sometimes she'd put a stick, you know, like on the table so that I can see it, like whenever I'm eating, so that I can see that if I don't finish the food, I'm gonna get a hiding, you know. So I really never had a good relationship with food because of all of those experiences that I just mentioned, and it was terrible because there are still those people that associate obesity with health, like whenever you lose weight, whatever the reason might be, you're you're said to be sick, like how for God's sake, like king wakula, like are you going through something, like such things, like people from that generation, for them to think that you're doing well in life, like you had to be obese, you had to like be big, so for them, like a big body for them is health and wealth, if you're not that, then there was something wrong with you, like you're not okay, like you're sick, or something along those lines. So yes, guys, but I've since worked on my relationship with food. It's not where I want it to be, but it is so much better. It is so much better because now whenever I feel hungry, I ask myself, like, is this emotional hunger or is this physical hunger? Like I listen to my body first. I get to the bottom of it, and most times than often I drink water. If I think that I'm feeling hungry, I drink water, and if that feeling goes away with me drinking water, then I know that sometimes it's just thirst, clothed as hunger, and now I'm able to sit with my body, I'm able to sit with my emotions and feel them, because that is one of the ways in which we overcome things. That is one of the ways in which we heal, by not avoiding the feeling, by not watching movies or like taking your phone to distract, Now I sit with it, like instead of running to food, like resorting to food, and for the past 2 years, I've lost a lot of weight, you know. I've lost a lot of weight and I've been able to maintain it because in the past, I would lose weight and then I'd gain it all back again, And a part of the reasons was because I was afraid of being seen. So the weight, the obesity was just protecting me, So yeah, I'm in a much better place, and my relationship with food has improved drastically. And yes, guys, please remember that I did say that this is my experience. Like, I'm sharing my experience. I'm not giving out a diagnosis on why other people are obese or are struggling with weight problems, right? Can you please share if you can resonate? Please do share in the comments, and please tell us how your relationship with food is like. And if you watched up until the end, please drop a heart in the comment section and please like my video and share. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Bye.